And welcome to my channel, dear students. In this video we are going to learn about data file handling, and in this chapter data file handling we will learn about how to create a text file, the read and the write mode, the read function, the different types of read functions, write function, absolute and relatives. Without any further delay, let's move on to the first topic, that is how to create a text file. So before we move on to the first topic, in case if you like the video, please do subscribe and share. So as you are aware that in Python we can create text files. Now what are text files basically? Text files contain alphabets, they contain text, or they contain text in the form of ASCII and Unicode character. So herein what we need to do is we need to follow 3 steps to create a text file. What are these 3 steps? The 3 steps are, we will have to first open a file using the open function. Next, we can either read or write onto the file using the read or write method. And lastly, we can close the file using the close function. So let's have a quick look at how can we perform these steps. To open a file in Python, what we need to do is we need to first of all write the open function, which will create a file object. This file object will serve as a link to a file residing in your computer. So let's assume that there is already a file created which is demo.file. The name of the file is demo.file and it is a text file. So with the open function we will provide 2 parameters. The first is the file name and the second will be the mode in which we want to open the file. As I said, there are 2 modes, the read mode and the write mode. There are more modes which will be explained later. So for simplification I am just using the read mode over here. So we can specify this read mode since this file already exists. We can use it with open function, and this particular open function will create a file object. So when we use this function, it is going to return a value which will be stored in this particular object which has been created by me. That is, the name of the object is f. Now let's quickly have a look at how can we do this in Spider. Let's open the interface over here. Let me use the open function. How can I use the open function? I can provide 2 parameters to the open function. The first parameter is going to be the file name. As I said, demofile.txt. Now this file already should exist on my computer. So the next parameter that I am going to use is the mode. So I want to read this file. So to read the file, I need to write over here RR specifies the read mode. Now this particular function will return a value. So let me create an object so that the value returned by the function is stored. Now here I have created f as the object. Let me show you whether this file demofile.txt exists or not. Now I need to save this program. Let me save this program. When I save this program, let me do it to file save as. Herein I have a folder that is my files. Let me save this program with the name demo first. Right, let me save this program in C drive, my files, that is demo first. Now since I am trying to read a file, demo file, let me show you whether this file exists or not. So herein you will see that the text file already exists. Now what is the content of this text file? Let's have a quick look. This is the notepad file and the content of this file is, as you can see, hello welcome to the class. We are learning the most relevant and popular software Python. This file is for testing purposes. Good luck. So this is the file over here, right? So this file already exists and this file will now be pointed by using the file object. So what happens next is, using the open function, we specify the path, the relative or the absolute part to the, and the next parameter that we pass to the open function is, it indicates that in which mode you would like to open the file. So as you have seen that the file demo file.txt consists of this text: hello, welcome to the class. We are learning the most relevant and popular software Python. This file is for testing purposes. Good luck. So we used this particular statement to open the file. Next, what do we need to do? Since we would like to read the content of the file, we will use the read method over here. Read method to read the file. How can we use the read method? Using the file object f dot, putting the read method and then enclosing it in print, we can read it. Now there are three methods through which you can read the text from the file. Let's have a quick look at these three methods and then we'll see how can we further read the demo text, demo file.txt, using these three methods. The first method is the read method. The read method takes up the parameter which is optional. It is the size in bytes. Okay, what it does, it reads the content in form of bytes, that is n bytes. If n is not specified, it will read the entire file. The second method is the read line method. Again, if we would like to read the number of characters from file, particular number of characters we can specify over here, which is optional. But what is the read line method otherwise going to do? The read line method otherwise reads till new line character. So it reads the content line by line. If we wish to read multiple lines, we can use the read lines method. As you can see over here, we can specify the parameter, the size, the number of characters that we would like to read, that can be specified. Now this is optional. So if you would like to read n number of bytes, for example, you would like to read 10 bytes. So you can specify over here 10. Let's see this and execute in Python. So now the next thing that what I am going to do is, I am going to use the read method to read the content of the file. I can either directly use the print command over here as it was shown in the slide, and I can run the program. You will see that once you run the program, let me save it again. Okay. So before we proceed, let me close these. Here it is, demo first. You can see it is saved in C drive and my files, and this particular text has already been displayed on the screen. Let me execute it again and show you. So hello, welcome to the Python class. This is the content of our file. Now we can specify the number of bytes that we want to read from this particular, in this method, as a parameter. So if I specify 10 over here, the number of characters now that will be displayed will be 10. So here are the 10 characters that are extracted from the file. In case if we wish to read the content, in this form. Now herein, this is an alternative method. What we need to do is we will have to store this data into a variable. Read will return a string of characters and we can store it in str, and subsequently we will have to print. So what happens now is, as you can see that so far hello exclamation mark space WEL, these are the first 10 characters. If I save this program and execute it, you will see that in the first case the first 10 characters are displayed, and since we have given the read command over here and we have specified 20 characters, so the next 20 characters will be displayed. So our Python pointer is placed once the number of characters n bytes are read. For example, I am specifying 10 over here. So the Python pointer will be placed after the 10th character and the next 20 characters will be read. In case if you wish to read these line by line, so what we can do is we can use the read line command. Let me remove this and show you. Now what is going to happen? My file which has hello welcome to the class, we are learning the most relevant and popular software Python. This particular content which is saved in demo file.txt, herein the line will be read. So wherever it encounters carriage return or /n, it will stop. So this particular text does not contain any new paragraph. Let me open the file and show you. Okay, here I have got one file, as you can see. Let me save this file for you first of all, and let me save it in the folder. Save it with a new text file and save the file. Text already exists. Okay, so text demo, save it, and let me create different paragraphs over here so that the Python interpreter can read different lines. Now I would just make a slight change in my program. Since I've created a file in front of you, the name of the file is text demo. Let me remove the previous name and let me write textdemo.txt and let me execute and show you. Since this particular file, the content is in different lines, so what it is doing is now it has just read the first line. So as you can see in this particular file, this was our first line, right? There is no space, there is no enter given over here. So it has read this whole content. This is one complete line over here. Now if I wish to read all the content in the form of lines, I can use the third function, which is read lines. Let me put an S over here and show you. If you are not specifying any number of characters over here, by default it is going to read the entire content. So now I am trying to read multiple lines and you will see the entire text is displayed. Each line of text is ending with /n character, that is the end of file character, right? And as you can see, the output is also displayed in the form of list, the string of characters in the form of the list of string of characters. So Let us see now what is a text file. See, as I told you, a text file can be understood as a sequence of characters consisting of alphabets, numbers and other special symbols. Which files are considered as text files? Files with extensions txt, .py are program files, .csv, they are all examples of text files. So when we open a text file using a text editor notepad, we see several lines of text. However, the file contents are not stored in such a way internally. Now, how are they stored internally, children? Internally, the text file is stored in the form of, in the sequence of bytes, that is zeros and one, right? In ASCII or Unicode or any other encoding scheme, the value of each character of the text file is stored as bytes. So while opening a file, the text editor basically translates each ASCII value and shows us the equivalent character that is readable by the human being. Otherwise, what happens is, inside the computer, the ASCII value is stored, that is 65, which is a binary equivalent of A. So if we are typing A internally, it is converted into 65 for a text file. That is, the text file stores data in the ASCII or Unicode encoding scheme, right? So we have so far learned about the three methods. The first method, read, what it does is, it read only parts of the file if specified the number of bytes over here. Okay, it will only read those number of bytes. Okay, so for example, if I write f.read 5 over here, it will return the first 5 characters of the file. With the help of read line, you can return one line by using the read line method. The content will be displayed, only one line from the content will be displayed. In case if you want to display all the content, entire content in the form of lines, you can use the read lines method. So these are the three methods. I have given you the demo how to use the three methods. Next, what we are going to learn, in case if we wish to read the entire content of the file. So taking the example of demo file only over here, we can loop through the lines of the file. So how do we do that? As usual, the first step is to open the file using the open function, specify the file name over here along with the path in case if the file is not stored in the same location. Specify the mode over here, R stands for read, and then save it in a file pointer, that is the object. Now to iterate over it, what you need to do is you can use a for loop. Here we are using the loop, loop variable x. So for x in f, and if we print x, what will we see? We will see that we can print the content of the file by looping through the lines of the file. So the next thing that we are going to learn is how many modes can we open the file in. Just now we have just seen how to open the file in read mode. Now, since our file was already existing, if we wish to create a new file, we will have to write onto the file. For that, the mode given is W. W stands for write only. So for text files, we write R and W for read and write subsequently. But for binary files, we need to add B to R and B to W if we wish to read and write. Similarly, if there is an existing file and in that we want to add more data, so for that we have the append mode. Append mode can be specified using A for text file, and for a binary file we specify AB. So to open the file in write only mode, if the file exists, the data in the file is retained and new data is written, right? If the file does not exist, Python will create a new file. But if we try to open a file in read mode and if the file does not exist, the Python interpreter is going to raise an input output error. So with the help of write mode, we can create a new file if it does not exist. With the help of append mode also we can create a new file. But if we are trying to read a file which does not exist, it will definitely raise an error. Now there is another set of modes wherein we specify the plus symbol. So if we specify the plus symbol with R, W and A, that means we would like to open it into both the modes. That is, with R, if I specify plus, I would like to open the mode in read and write. With W, if I specify plus, I would like to write and read on the file. And with A also, if I specify plus, that means I would like to write and read both onto the file. So this is a shortcut basically if I wish to apply both the processes. Rest of the constraints are similar. If we try to open a file which does not exist, definitely an error will be raised in case of R, and in case of W plus and A plus, the new file will be created. So we will be using these modes in the subsequent programs. Now, as I said, in case if I wish to write onto the file, I would like to create a file. So for that we will be using the W mode or the A mode. So to create a new file in Python, we use the open method, but to add content or write content, we will use the write method. So let's have a quick look how we can do this also. But prior to that, let's see an alternative method of opening a file using the with clause. Now there is an extra additional clause given over here which is called as the with clause. Using the with clause also we can open the file. How do we do that? Specify the with keyword, open function, specify the file name, the access mode, and using this as keyword specify the file object. Now how do we do this? Let's have a look. Use the with keyword, write open, specify the file name, specify the mode, and write as the name of the object. Once you have created the object, you can use the read mode again, read method again to read the content. Right, now what is the advantage of using the with clause? The first and the foremost is that when you use the with clause, the file gets closed automatically. Okay, once the control comes outside the with clause, we do not have to explicitly specify the close statement. So far we have not specified, but now we will start specifying the close method as well. So let us learn now how to write onto a text file using the write and write lines method. For this we will have to use the W access mode. So let me show you how to use this W access mode and how to use this write function. The write method, it takes a string as an argument and writes it to the text file. It returns the number of characters being written on single execution of the write method. This is done in Python ideally. Now let's have a quick look in how we can add more text to our existing file. So for this I would like to take our previous demo file. Here it is, and let me take up an object. Object is already created. What I need to do is I need to simply use the write method in the string form. This text is added now. So I would like to add this text in the file, and using the close method I will close the file. So first we have written onto the file, but I would also like to read the entire content of the file. After I have added this text, let me see. Let me execute demo file.txt. Yes, we cannot write onto a file in the read mode. So we will have to specify the W mode over here. But what if I wish to also read the content? So I can use the W plus mode. Let me first write it onto the file and use the W mode for you, and then we will read also. So as you can see, I have added this text is added now, demo file in my program. Let me open the file and show you whether the content is added or not. Here it is, demo file, click open. So what has happened now? The previous content is deleted since I am writing onto the file. So using the W mode, what happens? The previous content gets deleted. Now this text is added, now has been added, and let me read it for you over here only using the W plus mode. Empty list is being displayed for the time being. Okay, that's completely fine. Try to simply add more content to it. So you will see that if I open the notepad file, demo file, the content will, the new content is going to be displayed. This is a text file. So this is basically added. So until and unless I close the file, the new content is not displayed over there. So this was about the write function. Similarly, we can use the write lines function. Now what is this method going to do? It writes multiple strings to a file. We need to pass an iterable object like list, tuple, etc. containing strings to the write lines method. So we cannot write directly using the write lines. What we need to do is we can take up an object, an iterable object. Lines here I have taken, that is the list. In the list form I can do that. So as you can see, the string of list of string characters is there, that is specified, and we can pass that to the write lines function, and the text will be added to the file. Subsequently we can close the file. So this was all about the write and write lines. Next we will discuss about the absolute and the relative path. So path is the location or the place where the particular file is stored. So we have two types of, we can specify two types of paths over here, the absolute path and the relative path. You must have noticed that we have simply specified demo file.txt as the file path over here. This is called as the absolute path. Okay, they are from the topmost level of the directory structure. Now what happens over here is the demo file.txt is in the same folder where the program is stored. So that forms the absolute path. Now in case if your file is there in some other location, okay, relative to the current working directory, so you will have to specify the complete path over there, and that is called as the relative path. There is an alternative method for specifying the relative path. You may specify R in front of the path and you may use a single slash. Here you have used a double slash. Here you may use a single slash to specify the path. So what happens? This opens the file sample.txt in the read mode. It searches for the files in my files directory folder in C drive. The prefix R in front of the string means that there is no special meaning attached to any character. So slash generally represents that it precedes a literal like /n. But if I write R in front of it, it specifies that there is no special meaning attached to /m or /s. Take it as a path only. So in nutshell, these are the read-write functions that are available to us. In our next segment, we will do the seek and close, and that was all about the text files in Python. Please do like, subscribe and share the video in case if you like it.